Hey everyone, Corey here, and it has been quite some time since I've posted a video, and I apologize. The move ended up changing, went somewhere else, down in San Antonio now, and it was just a mess. So I finally got a place to film, got my own little office here, got my mic here. Things are doing well. We'll see with this video. And I had to get a whole new setup here, so I got rid of my digital SLR that I was using, and I'm actually going to try to use two webcams. So I haven't flown since December, and the last time I flew was this little TinyHawk, and I really wanted to make a review video because it was just so great. And now by the time I was able to film, there's the new TinyHawk S out there that can use 2S. But we're going to take this little guy and we're going to upgrade the camera and some motors, which would be pretty much the same as the S. The camera here is not bad, but it could be better. So we're going to replace it with, got this Turbo EOS here by Cadix, and I know it's not the best one out now. There's a run cam out there that's a little bit nicer, but this is all I have for right now, and we're going to give this one a shot. And in order to make this fit into the TinyHawk here, we have this little bracket that I printed off of Thingiverse. I'll put a link down below. I did the two-piece version because it's a little bit stronger, and so we're going to tear apart this TinyHawk, get this thing in here, and we're going to try out these motors here I got. These are the 16,500 kV. I believe the stock ones on here are 15,000 kV. So we'll get a little more punch there. And because the camera is going to add a little bit of weight, not much. And then I got just a little bit bigger batteries to try out here. The 525s from RDQ. I'm going to give these a shot. So let's start tearing this apart. And we are going to transfer a thing to a new frame here. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is get these motor wires off with some tweezers. Now we're going to take a tiny Phillips head and get these screws out. Alright, now we've got all the motors removed. We've got this battery holder off. And now we're just going to pull off the board. Make sure we keep our grommets here. Pull out this camera. Now that everything is out, we just have to get this old camera soldered off here and the new one put on. So now for the hottest part, let's get these wires off. So now we got the new camera. Let's just clip the wires. Got the wires stripped, tinned, and now we're going to solder them back on. And we'll solder the camera back on. Remember that it's yellow, red, and black. Alright, so now that we have our camera set onto our board, we're going to get my new frame here and the little bracket that I printed, and we're going to try to get it assembled here and try to get her flying. In order to get this camera to fit, we will have to cut out this clip right here, some cutters here, and we'll also have to just widen up this opening here a tiny bit. So let me get cutting on here. Alright, so now that's completely out, and we're going to work on the front. The easiest way for me, I believe, is just going to be take a blade and just carefully open this up. So I've got it opened up. Got a little carried away, but it doesn't look too bad. You don't have to cut much because this camera isn't very big. So let's get this thing flipped upside down, and it should be able just to drop right in like this. Alright, so I think I've got it figured out. So set your camera at the angle over here, tighten it up, not too tight, and then now you should be able to turn it upside down and drop it into the frame like this. There you go. Now it's in, and the camera is sticking out. So let's see if we can drop this board on here now. And to make things easier, instead of having to solder off and on this plug every time you take the battery holder off, I just went ahead and cut a little square. That way I can just shove this into there and just save a few minutes. Alright, motors are in. Got different props now than the stock. These are the Avon turtle mode props, so we'll see if turtle mode works. And now we can go outside and fly. Unfortunately, the stock camera had a bit of damage to it, which is why I had to replace it. But other than that, if you compare the color and the sharpness, you can tell that this new Cadix camera is definitely a big improvement. Giving it the old hand over the lens test shows that the dynamic range is okay. And here you can also see turtle mode actually work. Now I did this test right here with a fresh battery, but later on when I was flying, I did try to use turtle mode with the battery towards the end of its flight time, and it worked just the same. I think this upgrade for the camera and it being worthwhile is definitely an improvement in the picture, and this is the exact same process you could follow to use the run cam as well. I don't think this setup will be as durable as the stock setup, but I think the upgrade in quality is definitely worth it. The higher KV motors combined with the Avon props was definitely a nice upgrade as well, and having turtle mode work is fantastic. The 525 mAh RDQ lipo was definitely a nice upgrade as well. It gave me about 30 to 60 seconds more flight time while virtually weighing the same. It was only about 0.3 grams heavier. So there you have it, pretty much every upgrade possible that you can do to your original TinyHawk. It flies great, even slightly better than before, even with a slightly heavier camera. And one thing I did fail to mention is that this camera does weigh about 2 grams heavier, but with the extra KV motors and the better props, it does make up for it. I couldn't tell it was any worse. If I didn't have those upgrades, I probably could tell. Also, all the parts I put in here, I will put links down below in the description to Race Day Quads where I bought all the parts myself. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. I've got a brand new setup here that I'm new to, and this software is terrible. As you can see, this stupid little Logitech symbol down in the corner, and the overexposure is terrible, so I apologize for that. As for my next video, I don't know where I'm going yet. Perhaps might do a toothpick build. That's something I see picking up a lot of popularity with Kebab, and looks like some potential good quality stuff is coming out. I may go back to a wing. I do have that little guy right there. That's a little wing that I've been thinking about setting up to try to hit over 100 miles per hour under 250 grams. So maybe that's something you guys might want to see. Or I might try to do a really tiny wing, kind of like a tiny whoop wing. But anyway, hey, if you have any comments or suggestions, let me know. I'm Corey with Crash and Burn Racing, and thank you for watching.